Hello, everyone.
Y'all all got to hear Marina go. Da, 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 da.
Yeah. Well, and my feet were tap dancing at the same time.
There you go. That's the best way to do it.
Yes. So welcome, everyone, to Golden Girls Coffee Clutch. And welcome
Hello.
Sherry, the my co-host tonight. We're down a member because you know what? Sometimes life
Things
just gets in the
happen.
way of things.
Yeah.
So I have control over Cleo's site.
There you go.
Anyway, yeah.
And that's
So
because she responded first to the email, or I
yeah,
might have snagged it out from under her.
there you go. Yeah. So just yeah, and when I'll be responding, it'll come up as Cleo, which is fabulous. Um, and yeah, just we'll carry on. I think Sherry and I can probably
I think we can wing
handle.
it.
Yeah, we can wing it. We'll give it a try. We'll see what happens. Yeah. Woo-hoo.
There you go.
Yeah. So thank you all of you for joining us. Thank you for being here.
Yes.
Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Cleo's channel, which you should be able to do, from
And
right
Marina's
there.
channel. That way.
Yes. And then
And
go over to Sherry's channel and
7 people away from hitting 7,000. Or no,
nice.
wait, that. Crap. Now I can't remember what the hell it is.
Done. Perfect.
I told you, I am 7 people away from hitting 7,700.
Nice. Perfect.
So
There you go.
There
you
we go. I had to pull up
Yeah.
the page and look at it. It's like,
Yes.
I don't remember.
And then go over to Heart Center Tarot and do the same thing over there.
Yeah, Marina's pushing for 10,000. She's going to beat me there, but that's okay.
Hey,
the goal is by the end of summer. So
yes,
at this point, I will be happy if it's by the end of the year. But, the earlier, the better.
Exactly. It'll be when it will be. So just very quickly, hello to Sandy Johnson, Maureen D'Amico, Bora Bora is here, Patricia Odell, hello, Sandy Johnson, Elena Garcia, Anna Greenwich, let's see, Moon Mist, Brenna 41, Mimi Nee, Dawn Turner, hello, Dawn. There we go. And Teacher Barbara. And Teacher Barbara had actually a question that I've got started. We can probably get to. So that tells me that there's some of you that are in the chat and you haven't said hi. That's okay. You want to lurk in the background? Feel free. Lurk away. Yeah. We don't mind one little bit. And hello, Linda Bishop. And
Hi, Linda.
Yes.
And Eileen and her Aline. I can never remember which way to say it. I'm sorry.
I know. Gordian, nice to see you here. So,
hey, TC. And yeah, so this is great.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So one of the things that I kind of wanted to see if we could start off chatting about, and that was the firing. Oh, Aileen. Yeah, I think you. I don't think you meant A Jean, or maybe you did. Okay, AJ. All right, AJ.
Okay, AJ, we'll just go with that. That's easier.
Yes. Yeah. There you go. There you go. So yeah, the firing yesterday of Moran Comey. Yeah. For those of you that are not familiar with her, but the name sounds familiar. Yeah, you're right. She is James Comey's daughter. And she worked with the Federal Prosecution Department and the Department of Justice. She's been with them since, I think, 2015, has handled multiple high-level cases, including P. Diddy, Epstein, and Ghislaine Maxwell. And she was terminated yesterday with really no explanation. I haven't been able to find anything. Yeah, just nothing. What I thought was really telling, though, was what she had said in yeah, it's not clear why she was removed from her job at the Southern District of New York, but the day after she was fired, Comey told former colleagues that fear is the tool of a tyrant, wielding to suppress independent thought. That I thought was very telling. She also mentioned, I think, in a letter that she posted to some of her colleagues, that if a career prosecutor can be fired without reason, fear may steep into the discussion of those who remain. Do not let that happen. Instead of fear, let this moment fuel the fire that already burns at the heart of this place. A fire of righteous indignation at abuse of power. And she said, yeah, our commitment to seek justice for victims, of dedication to truth above all else.
Can't have that. How can they cheat if there's truth? Well, and hello, Terry. Hello, Irene.
Hello.
And hello, Jason.
Hello. And what that said to me was, thank you. My son just closed the door. Yeah, I forgot to close the door. I did a quick read last night on the energy around her, and I was picking up more Trump energy than her. And he is absolutely terrified of the information. As a prosecutor, you want to know what was in the Epstein files? She got it. She just drew 3 cards. Yeah, she prosecuted Ghislaine Maxwell with that information.
Yeah, she saw the list.
Oh, yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. And
facade of goodwill. Shifting dynamics.
Yes.
Liberation prevails.
Yes.
That's some interesting cards that just popped up. I thought, that's just awesome.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And now that she's been fired, I think she's going to be at more liberty to talk about some of those things, because she's not employed by the Department of Justice. Well, you can't say that. Stop me. Don't think for 1 minute that she hasn't discussed this with her father. And
got other lawyers that may be more up to date on what she can and can't say, because it's not like she retired and signed off on stuff saying, I won't discuss ABC, 1, 2, 3. Yes. Oh no, you get fired and it's anything goes.
Yes. So I thought, well, isn't that interesting that, yeah, they're not really talking about it, but the fact that, and I think it was Carolyn Levitt, of course, said that, yeah, well, the decision to fire her was made by the Department of Justice. And, any other questions refer to that, because she was asked in a press conference, did Donald Trump have anything to do with it? No, it was the Department of Justice. So
the energy's hot on this. My cards are jumping all over the place.
Yes. It's actually quite exciting because of the information that she is now able to share. That she's no longer bound by a lot of that internal
Compromised.
privilege.
That's
Yes. Uh-huh. Yes,
what jumped out.
absolutely. Uh-huh. And I'm just pulling a couple cards. Oh, yeah, again, I'm trying to tap into her, but I'm getting Trump. Um, okay. So
He
corruption
is
revealed.
full panic mode is what I'm getting on him.
He is. He
Freaked out.
is.
Totally freaked out.
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, she's going to be able to reveal the corruption. It's going to have global impact. So it's not just the US, which we kind of figured, right? Um, and yeah, there are going to be people who are going to be mourning the loss. There's things are going to come out.
My mind.
And Liz, talking about Maureen Comey, James Comey's daughter, who was fired from the Department of Justice yesterday. She's a federal prosecutor with the Department of Justice.
Well, she was.
She was. So they the comments that she made and what she put down in the memo or email or whatever it was that she said sent to her colleagues is very, very telling. Yeah, if a career prosecutor can be fired without reason, so clearly no one said, yeah, you're being fired due to poor performance or whatever, for no reason. Fear may seep into the discussion of those who remain. Do not let that happen. Instead of fear, let this moment fuel the fire that already burns at the heart of this place. Clearly, the people that are in the Department of Justice can see what's going on. They don't like it.
Oh, yeah.
They don't like it at all. And she is saying, yeah, don't let them get to you, right? A fire of righteous indignation at abuses of power, of commitment to seek justice for victims, of dedication to truth above all else. That is pretty damning. That is pretty damning.
Yeah.
And oh yeah, the impression that I got was that she given that Ghislaine Maxwell's lawyers are talking about her possibly speaking in front of Congress, which of course the Republicans said, oh no, that can't be done. No. But they are also looking to have her sentence basically commuted or quashed, because if there is no evidence, how can you convict someone without evidence? If the file does not exist and she was convicted based on what was in the file, and if the file is now a hoax, yeah, it's not going to go well. I think that she just might work with Ghislaine's lawyers. Yeah. You want to throw a couple cards on that? Let's see.
I did. Yes.
Yes.
I've got. Did you pull?
No. Go ahead.
Okay. I'm going to read you mine. First thing I got, big news. Oh, yeah.
Yes.
And then I got concede defeat, because that's what's going to happen. Then I got floods, heavy rain, just a little reminder of what this whole country is going through right now as I look out my window at the pouring rain. And ending with shifting alliances.
Yes.
So Yeah.
Isn't that interesting? Yeah, I get stepping down, so someone is going to be stepping down. And if this is referring to her, well, you don't step down when you're fired. So it must be referring to someone else. But I also got beneficial impact. So this is going to work in her favor in terms of tyrannical leadership. And that's basically what she said. Yeah, abuses of power. So they certainly, the people around her, I think, certainly know what's going on. I think that there are copies of the Epstein file.
Oh, without a doubt. I would think that anybody who had their hands on that file for longer than 5 seconds made a copy. Even if nobody knows they have a copy, they've got a copy, because that's fuel for the fire. And for those with enough brains to realize exactly who the hell it was sitting in office, you know damn well there was a bunch of them thinking, this man, especially once they looked at the list and saw how much he was in it, you know doggone well that they were like, oh, he's going to be wanting to get rid of this. So let's make a copy while nobody's looking, you know. Slip a thumb drive into that computer and do a quick download.
Yeah. Nothing to see here, folks. Yeah. And I just, the flip-flop that he's been doing this last week is very much like a terrified caged animal. Like,
oh yeah. And what's really freaking him out is not so much the reaction from those on this side of the aisle, it's from his people and the pundits that have always backed him up, that are like losing their poop over this going on. And you got Alex Jones crying on camera about he must have been overtaken by the deep state or some kind of BS. I don't know. I can't watch him.
I know.
It just makes my stomach hurt. You've got MAGA people screaming at him when they see him in public.
Yes.
Calling him a liar and a cheater, and where is the information you promised? They're attacking Pam Bondi, which he at first tried to stand up for her and say, quit picking on her. She's doing her job. Oh, that was the wrong thing to say, because you're dealing with a group of people who are very misogynistic. And don't pick on her. That's a woman. Of course we can pick on her, you know.
Yeah. Besides, she was the one who said, yes, I've got the Epstein list on my desk right now, and I'm going to review it. And yes, we're going to let all this out. And, you know, we're the party of transparency and, you know, law and order.
That just makes me laugh.
I know. Yeah, transparency, my foot. So yeah, going from yes, we're going to do that, to you know, no, it's there is nothing, there is no list, there's nothing there, to well, yes, there is a list, but you know, it was put together by the Democrats, the evil fascist Democrats, by Obama and Clinton and Biden, and insert any Democratic name here, you know, all of it, because it's a witch hunt trying to get him for, you know, for years and years and years. I think I would suggest, and you know, if it was somebody else, I would say, look, you might want to talk to your people and have them explain to you that who was in control when Jeffrey Epstein was arrested. and jailed. Oh,
And
that was you. Oh,
unalive.
okay. Yeah. And who was in charge when Jeffrey Epstein decided to check out? Oh, wait, that was you and Bill Barr. Okay. So, and Ghislaine Maxwell was convicted. And who was in charge when she was convicted? You know what I mean? Like that. And I think that's the. Go ahead.
Keep going.
Yeah, I was going to say that's the part that his supporters are really riling against, and it's nice to think that we hit the bottom of the barrel. We found that line that they won't cross. A cheater, a womanizer, sexual batterer, rapist, blah 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 blah. All that is forgivable, but a pedophile? Oh, okay. No. That's what terrifies him. And
you know what I found out today was that something that damn it, there went another card. Where did it go?
They're flying.
They are flying. It went somewhere. I'm going to have to look. It fell somewhere underneath. Evidently, the DOJ has had the time and the money to enter all of the children that they have arrested or snatched into the criminal database, not into a child database or an immigration status database. No, the criminal database. And the person that I heard talking about it yesterday when she brought it up, and she was talking, it was like over 500 children. Well, today she came on and she said, I made an error, and so I need to correct it. It's over 133,000 children since January who have been entered into the criminal database. We're talking some kids as old as 2 or 3 months.
Oh, Lord.
Now,
or as young.
Think about this.
Yeah.
This is going to follow these children for the rest of their lives. Yes. And if they do manage to come back here, if they decide they want to give us another chance to try to be an American, what's going to happen when they put their information in the database? They're going to pop up on the criminal database.
Yeah. Imagine that.
And it's just like, and she was drawing the comparison to the fact that there's over 250,000 rape kits that are still pending to just have the information entered into the criminal database.
Yeah.
Well, no, they don't have the time and the money to do that.
No.
But they can do that with the children.
Absolutely. Because, well, you know what, that's how it starts. It starts in the womb and then just carries on from there. Sometimes
While we talk, I'm going to find my card.
Yes. Sometimes the evil that these people show us is a reflection of who they are. Absolutely. Cancel Stephen Colbert show.
Yeah, Stephen Colbert got canceled today.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, at the end of this season, because he spoke out against the merger or something to do with what CBS and Paramount are doing. And he spoke out against it and got fired.
No problem. I think that Stephen Colbert is going to land on his feet. And I would love to see him. And oh gosh, no, his name is
Jimmy Kimmel. That's another one I haven't seen on the air. There have been like guest co-hosts on Jimmy Kimmel's show.
Yeah. No. Jon Stewart.
Jon Stewart. Yeah.
I would love to see, Stephen Colbert and Stewart together start their own channel or whatnot, and absolutely they would get a lot of support.
Jon Stewart already has his own podcast up and going. That's like once or twice a week. I forget. Plus, he goes back to the Daily Show now once a week, and he does. I think Monday nights he does the Daily Show, and then he's got his podcast now that he does, because I catch those as often as I can. And yeah, when he walked away from the Daily Show before, the only time he ever showed up on TV was on Colbert's show.
Yes.
Yeah, because they're all friends. So
of course. And they I enjoy both of them because they call it like they see it.
Oh yeah.
Right? It's not a case of well, we are a Democratic channel, we are a Republican channel, and so on. No, it's they criticize both Democrats and Republicans, which sounds fair to me. If you do something stupid,
yeah,
you should be called on it. You absolutely should be called on it. So.
And then today, Democratic senators in the I think it was in the Rules Committee or something to do with this guy they're trying to get sworn in to I don't remember now what the position is, but it's something to do with a judge, I think make a federal judge, because they want to move him up so that he'll be in place to go into the Supreme Court. And this guy is like really evil.
Yes,
and
absolutely.
Democrats as one stood up and walked out of that meeting in the middle of it with Cory Booker sitting there talking to Chuck Grassley saying, I know you, and I know that this is not you. So I don't know what Trump has on you that got you to do this, but you need to really rethink it, because what you're doing is an abomination. I mean, he was not pulling any punches at all. I was like, holy crap.
Perfect.
I'm beginning to wonder if Cory isn't thinking about running for president again. I mean, I know he did it once before when Obama was running, and he, I mean, pretty much everybody washed out pretty fast when Obama threw his thing.
That was no contest. The minute, if you had 5 seconds and you heard Obama speak for 5 seconds, you made up your mind. There was nobody that could hold a candle to him. So absolutely. But these people do need to be called out for everything that they have done. Everything.
I saw a meme back when Trump ran in 2016. There was a meme going around where someone said or a thing that they did up talking about the importance of getting your children to understand how important education was. And they were like, to prove your point, have them sit down and watch Obama for 5 minutes speak, and then have them sit down and watch Trump for 5 minutes to speak. To show the difference between an education and uneducated.
Exactly.
And I'm like, God, there's no comparison.
I know. And speaking of education, Teacher Barbara had asked even before we started, she said, not sure if this is the right time or place, but I'm super worried about the schools in Florida. So many charter schools are popping up everywhere. Where is the money coming from and what is happening?
It's coming from the public education department.
Yes. And well, to some extent,
yes, education and giving it to the charter schools. They're doing it all over the country.
That the charter schools are very often run by by donors, really.
And they're not held up to the same standards as
No.
public education or a private school. They
Yes.
don't have to meet the same uh,
Criteria.
quotas as far as what how as far as the teachers go. Any Tom, Dick, or Harry can come in
Yes.
and teach.
Yes.
I mean,
Yeah.
yeah, and it's bad because there are some good charter schools out there who specialize in in say children with
Mhm. Yeah, like Montessori.
autism and stuff
Yes.
like that, and so they
Yeah.
specialize for those kids because they learn differently. They're not
Yeah.
stupid or anything, they just learn differently. And so you have some of these schools that start up, and that's what and their teachers are usually those who have specialized in those kind of issues so that they can
Mhm.
reach kids and bring them up to the point that they can go back into the public school
Yeah.
atmosphere. And you have really good charter schools that emphasize science or math or art or music
Mhm. Yeah.
for those kids that are like savants or something that are so good at that. And but they are supported by what the parents pay for that school, but now it's like a free for all with these charter schools.
Yeah,
It's ridiculous.
the idea with the charter school is that they are very often privately funded, which means that depending on the ideas that the people who are giving you money want to push forward, whatever their agenda is, if they're giving you the money, they're they're calling the shots, right? They're paying the band so they get to pick the song that they want to hear. So um, the teachers don't have to be nearly as qualified, but more than anything else, the charter schools they more than anything else they indoctrinate. There is a certain education and viewpoint that they instill in the students right from the first day all the way up, and that is one of the methods that you use to control a population. It's also how you can set definitions in charter schools that these particular students are going to be the worker bees in the colony. These are going to be the engineers, and these are going to be the doctors. And depending on as you come in, you're funneled into one of those, and that's where you are. You cannot cross over. That's someone has determined what your life is going to be like going forward. So
Right. And
there
there's
are
nothing
good
wrong with
things, but
specialized schools. I mean, we used to call it yeah, apprentice type schools,
mhm, trade
that's not
schools,
the
yes,
term we trade schools, thank you.
yes,
Where kids that maybe aren't book smart and just don't
yes,
learn in that capacity, but put them in an auto shop with a bunch of engines and boom, man,
yeah,
they're producing miraculous results, or
exactly.
put them in a situation of you know putting together little itty bitty bits and pieces for something, and boy, it flows for them because that's
Yeah,
the way their brain functions.
yeah,
And it's using that as an excuse to not educate the whole, um, and Florida, public schools in Florida used to have the top public school
mhm,
systems in the nation back in the 60s and 70s. I know because I went to school there, and they taught on the Montessori system.
yes,
And then the state turned red, and first thing they did was get rid of the education.
of course. Of
Yeah,
course, that's how you control a large swath of the population.
that's
You
right.
keep them sick and you keep them uneducated, because as long as they are not educated, they're not going to know what their rights are. They're not going to know what they've never been taught how to reason and
They can't critically think.
no, there is none of that. So yeah, you take that away from them and they just become compliant. That's it. They become compliant. And then on
Or
top of
what
that,
we've
take
seen
away
them
their health
do,
care. Yeah.
we've seen them do in especially in public schools for the last, what, 10, 15 years, is
Mhm.
teach to the test.
Yes.
So that's all the teacher does, is teach to what's on that test so they can pass the test and get moved up to the
Yes.
next level. They
Yes.
haven't learned anything because as soon as they take the test, it's all gone. They
Exactly.
can't pull that information up 2 years later when they're in another class that's going to rely upon that information in order to build on it.
Yes.
I mean, and it's, I
Well,
mean,
not only
my
that,
brother's
but
a teacher, and
yeah,
I
when
watch his frustrations with it, and it's just really, really
mhm,
sad.
yes. Yeah, absolutely. And yes, Lois, remember the old commercials? A mind is a terrible thing to waste. Yes,
Yeah,
absolutely. Um, there, when you're just teaching for the test, um, what that sets up is the opportunity um, for kids to walk across the stage, get their diploma, and they can't read it.
yeah,
And they can't apply for a job because they're basically illiterate. They can't read or write because they have not been taught how to um, how to use phonics or anything along those lines. It's
yeah,
you learn by rote, right? This is the word the. This is what it looks like. Whenever you see this combination, it's the word the. Put an M at the end of it, and I've never seen that. I have no idea what that is. They can't take
yeah.
it to the next level. So
The first 15 years that I was in the medical field,
okay.
and uh, it was truly astonishing to me how many grown adults
Mm-hmm.
from the age of 18 and up who would come in and couldn't read a basic consent form
Yes.
to sign their names to give us permission to draw blood from them or to take a
Yes.
urine specimen or anything, because they had to sign consent forms for that. And we would have to sit and read the forms out to them and usually explain every 3 or 4 sentences what it was we just
Yeah.
read, because even though we were reading it to them, they had no clue what the hell we were talking about.
Exactly.
When I went back to college 15 years after high school, the in the beginning I was able to take night classes because it was the
Yes.
freshman 50 million different classes for English 101, or whatever. And one of the English classes I took at night, one of the things that that professor would do was, we met 2 nights a week. And so the first night of the week, we would go over, different types of things to do. It was actually a vocabulary class. So
Yep.
it was discussing, vocabulary and how it's changed and how you can look at things and figure out what a word is or what a word means by simply looking at what's surrounding it in the sentence and all this. And then the second night of the week, he would bring in printed out copies of articles from like Times, Newsweek, um, magazines and newspapers written on a fifth to 10th grade reading level, depending on which paper it was. And he would pass them out. And then, first person in the first row reads the first two paragraphs, the person behind them picks up, reads the next couple of paragraphs, and we would go around the room with the article, and everyone would read out loud a couple of
Mhm.
paragraphs at a time. It blew my mind how many young people under the age of 30 could not look at a word and sound it out to figure out how to
Exactly.
say it
Yes.
or how to
Okay,
figure out
Clarence.
what it means.
Yes.
And for those of us who were over 30, it was, it was it just sometimes you have to stop for a minute
Yes.
and look at it. Oh, okay, that's so and so word. And I can't tell you how many young people I would hear after class come up to the older students and say, "How did you do that? How did you know how to figure out what that word was?" Like it's
Yeah,
called
because
phonics.
we learned
You
how to
sound it
sound
out.
things out.
Yeah,
Yeah, sound it out, not just visual. And I know I've encountered several of those people who have made it through, well,
have
years
been
and
given
years.
a degree and can't read and write. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, years ago. I remember I was taking a secretarial course at a local college, and part of it was, doing the shorthand and all that, which most of you don't know what shorthand is anymore. But anyway,
A few of us
and
do.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Um, and there was a lady. She was definitely older than I was, um, and she was complaining that she had applied to the city of Calgary for several positions and wasn't even able to get an interview. And, she was wondering what she was doing wrong and so on and so forth. Anyway, she had just filled out yet another application, and she asked me if I would just quickly take a look at it and see, make sure that she didn't miss anything. And the first thing that struck me, and I thought, okay, this is why you're not getting an interview, hon, is for, she had previous experience, let's say XYZ, trailer company, reason for leaving, QUITE, quiet, quiet. And I said, oh, you mean you quit? Yeah, that's what I put down there. Quit. No, no, you wrote quiet or quite.
Yeah.
Yeah, quite. So yeah, they're going to look at that, and you're not going to get past that. And it's amazing how many people just don't. Yeah,
Can't
can't
spend. When my
can't.
son started elementary school, they were doing some new teaching methods,
Yes,
and it was they did away with phonics and they did away with spelling. Oh, the spelling doesn't count. Just spell it the way you think it sounds.
yes,
And that's good enough. And his daddy would be like, no,
no,
spelling does count and you're going to do it right.
yeah,
If you don't know how to spell it, you ask and we'll help you. And it was a constant fight the first couple of years, first and second grade, because teachers are telling them spelling doesn't count. And we're like, oh, well, hell yes, it does.
yes,
Because when they rolled into third grade, three-fourths of the class couldn't do the assignments in third grade
yeah,
because they couldn't spell.
exactly.
And they didn't know how to sound out a word to figure out what
Yes,
letters went in that word to learn how to
yes,
spell it. But there was my son and a handful of other kids that who had parents that were like, no, spelling counts. You're going to learn to spell
yes,
right. And teachers complaining about it. And I can remember going to a couple of parent teacher meetings, where all the parents would show up. And a lot of parents were like, well, what the hell did you expect when you spent their first 2 years telling them spelling doesn't count? And then they
yes,
get into third grade and suddenly spelling counts. They
exactly.
don't know
Yeah,
how to spell. They've never learned.
yeah. Yeah, you can't. It that doesn't make
Yeah.
sense. It really doesn't make sense. Okay.
Anyway, real
See
quick,
what else.
just on that, I did draw a couple of cards on the school thing. I got disappointing results,
Yes.
followed by misuse of funds. Oh, yeah.
Hello.
Voice of the people.
Yeah.
People are not going to be very happy about this once they
No.
realize
Exactly.
that we've
Exactly.
created an
They're not.
entirely stupid several generations
Yeah.
of stupid people.
Yeah. Yep. Exactly. And okay. Now, Susie Cat Person from Baltimore says, when Felon 47 and the regime are removed, will all the judges he appointed be null and void? Yes. They
Or at
will.
the very least, they will have to go back through
Yes.
another process with the Senate on if they're qualified to keep the job.
Yeah.
I mean, because there are
They'll need
some
to
that
go through
probably could
background
have been,
checks. Yeah,
yeah, that got
yeah,
through,
vetting
but
process, the whole 9 yards. So,
yeah,
I honestly, I would say, yeah, that the majority of the ones that are appointed, especially to the high level positions, yeah, they're
for
going to find themselves without jobs, and they're all going to be reapplying, and you have to
if
go through the
it's
process.
determined that he was illegitimately made president because of cheating, um, then that means that all of the executive orders that he has issued and most of the laws and stuff that bills that he's signed and everything, that makes all of them null and void too.
Yeah.
Because if
Yep.
you're not legally the president, you can't
Yep.
be making those decisions or signing those bills or pardoning that person. I
Mhm.
mean, this could take away the pardoning of all those J6
Yeah.
criminals, and get their little butts hauled right back into the cell block. And
Yes.
it's a mess, y'all. It is a real mess what
Yep.
the Republican Party has been responsible for doing. And it hasn't been just since him. This has been
No.
in the works for 50 plus years. I mean,
Exactly. It's a
and
slow progress.
it
Otherwise,
is.
if you try to change it overnight, people notice. But if you make the changes slowly and over time, and you just pull, pull back, that people don't know how to react when they don't realize what it is that they've lost.
And that's where the Republicans were so smart about it because
Yes.
they started at the bottom of the barrel. City
Yes.
dog catcher,
Yep.
public library lady, whatever. They
Yep.
started infiltrating and putting their people in at the lowest
Yep.
levels of local and state governments and slowly worked their way up the ladder. And now they've got their people
Yes.
infiltrated throughout the system from local dog catcher to president. And it's a
Mm-hmm.
mess. It's
Yep.
going to
It
take a
is.
long time
It
to
is.
clean this up. It really, really is.
Yep. It
And
is.
we're not even talking about global and international
No.
relations to go with that.
Oh, not even close. Not
Another
even
nightmare.
close. Yeah, you know what, the education system in the US is really truly an embarrassment. That yeah, people who think that they are educated in comparison to other countries, absolutely not. Absolutely not.
I know
So,
our last governor we had was a Democrat. Now, he was a very conservative Democrat, but a Democrat.
Democrat.
And one of his complaints when addressing the state and House and Senate state level was, um, we have to up our education levels because we can't pull in these new businesses with all this money and these jobs because, number one, we don't have the workforce intelligent enough to do the jobs. They would have to bring in people from outside to come in and do the
Yeah.
jobs. So, why would they then set up here? It would just be easier to set up in the state where they're pulling the workers from,
Well, exactly.
And two, you would have the upper echelon of these companies be like, why would we want to live there? Where would we we'd have to send our kids off to boarding school or something.
Mm-hmm.
We couldn't send them to your schools in the state. They're terrible. I mean,
Exactly.
and
Exactly. No comparison. No comparison.
and
But
again, he fought tooth and nail because we've had a very dominant Republican Party in control in the state and in House and Senate, both state and federal
mhm.
levels in this state for a long time. And now we're overrun with MAGA people. So
There you go. There you go. There's your education system at work.
oh
So
yeah,
yeah,
it's
Lois wanted to know. She said, "I'm avoiding news that the tangerine announced he has cancer today." No,
no.
no. Um, his spokesperson, Carolyn Lovett, confirmed that he's had multiple tests and so on and so forth done, and that he is suffering from a chronic vein condition, and which is not unusual for people over 70, and obviously people in his physical condition and so on. Um, and that was, yeah, after speculation regarding photographs showing bruises on his hand and also the lower part of his legs being, kind of like
Yeah.
much,
His
much
ankles
larger. So,
huge.
yeah,
Yeah.
a little bit of the water retention, but apparently he has undergone a comprehensive exam, including vascular testing. Um, and it all came back, according to Levitt, within normal range, which was interesting. And that his bruised hand was consistent with tissue damage from frequent handshaking. Bullshit. Sorry, that got
I
stuck.
didn't hear that one. That went, whoo, that went right by me. It
Yeah,
was like,
yeah. And that also it happens when a person is taking aspirin as part of standard cardiovascular preventative management and so on and so forth.
yeah.
Again, I feel that cough coming on. So yeah, and Trump, of course, has said that he is the healthiest president that's ever lived. It's going to be interesting when they do the autopsy after he
Well,
trans.
yeah, because his arteries are already so clogged up with McDonald's fat that it's
Yeah,
amazing that his heart pumps at all. I mean,
yeah, yeah, exactly.
it's like,
And
don't
yeah,
get me wrong. I don't have anything against McDonald's. I go eat at McDonald's myself at least a couple of times a month. And I'm
yeah,
probably going to hit them up after the show tonight because I haven't eaten yet. I'm hungry.
yes,
And it's fast. So,
yes,
but
exactly.
it's like if I had spent the last 50 of my 60 years eating nothing but
Right.
McDonald's and Kentucky Fried Chicken, I would be 200 pounds overweight and hardening of my arteries too.
Of course. Yeah.
He tries to pull off that crap that he weighs 185
Oh,
pounds or some bullshit. It's like,
in his
dude,
dreams.
in your
In his
wildest
dreams.
dream, one
Yeah.
leg weighs more.
Yes. Yeah. And I can't remember who it was who said that in all the time that they have known Donald Trump, and that this is, many, many years, they have never seen him consume a vegetable.
No.
I totally, totally, absolutely believe that. Yeah. So,
Yeah.
yeah, he's not doing well. I think that the fact that he is now under a lot of emotional and um, mental stress, because he knows what's coming. He knows it's just a matter of
Sundowning
time.
really bad.
Yeah, yeah. There are too many people out there um, who have information on the Epstein file. He can, talk about any explanation he wants, any hoax, anything along those lines. He's gone a step too far, right?
Yeah.
His people have stopped believing him. And we've always said that, who was going to take Trump out? It was going to be his own people. And that's exactly what's going to happen to him.
Well,
So
like Linda G said,
yeah,
when he first won, and she, talked about, she went to her guides and we're like, why? Why did you tell me the wrong thing? And da 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 da. And they were like, because man is free will. And
exactly.
even though now we know that actually Kamala did win,
Yes.
but also
Yeah.
they told her that his people have to see who he really is
Yes.
in order to break them away from that. And I think that's the
Absolutely.
state
Yeah,
we're in right now.
absolutely. Otherwise, they were going to see him as the savior forever and ever and ever. He had to be
Yeah,
exposed as
ready
the
to
emperor with no
canonize them
clothes. Yeah, yeah,
and put
absolutely.
that ugly face up on Mount Rushmore.
Oh, please. Let me see. What else? The other thing that, and no, I'm not going to bring that up. We're at the end here, so yeah,
Oh, wow.
I'm just going to let that go. Yeah, Chris Cassidy isn't catching
Isn't
a
catch up a
vegetable.
vegetable. Well, in a roundabout way,
kind
yeah.
of, sort of. Yeah, absolutely.
It's
So
a smushed vegetable
yes, yeah, and
with a lot of chemicals added to it.
yes, yeah, and I do want to be able to send you guys away with something positive, something to look forward to, something that you can kind of take forward
Hello?
with you and know, yeah, yeah, that this too shall pass. This too
Yes.
shall pass. Um, with everything that you hear, just remember that no matter how how vocal the other side gets, the more they scream and yell, the more that you know how desperate they are. Don't buy into the drama. Just watch it as an observer. Know what's going on around you. Just don't give in to that, and just see it as if it is a play or movie that is playing in front of you, and you'll be able to find, yes, the comedy in it. You'll be able to start to um, you won't be surprised when things come out. You can say, yeah, I kind of figured that. So do want to send you away with something positive, and just remember that the people who are currently dodging the question, that's a sign for you to keep asking, right? That the people who are currently in high positions are going to have that fall from grace. And you
Yeah.
won't have to do anything. They will do it to themselves. So just take that away with you. And anything in closing there, Sherry? Miss Sherry?
Nothing I can think of, really. I mean, it's become such a poop show that it's
Yeah.
like I get a headache sometimes. Just I find myself listening to the stories more than I do anything else. Because
Yeah.
it's like, okay, I'd rather listen to Wild West stories or ex-military stories or love stories or
Yes.
whatever, as opposed to the news, because I get depressed when I It's getting where it's like I can't stand to watch the news anymore. And guys, I was a news junkie. I mean, 24/7 nonstop watch the news.
Yeah.
And if more than 10 minutes and I'm like, it's like I can't deal with this. I gotta change the channel.
Absolutely.
And, yeah. So
don't forget.
I've been telling everybody on my people, it's not dark enough yet. There's worse coming, but it will get better.
Will get better.
We just gotta hang in there.
Yeah, absolutely.
And we gotta fight for what we want.
Yeah. So thank you to each and every one of you. Thank you for being here and spending time with us. We'll see you again in 2 weeks' time on July 31st. And at that time, it's going to be on my channel. And we're going to have a guest that is going to join us. And I think
you're going to like her. So
yes, I think so.
I've been watching some of her videos and stuff. And it's like, oh, I really like her. So
yes. So it should be fun. So we'll see you there again. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to.
And remember, if it gets really bad, Marina has a backyard. You just got to figure out how to get over the border.
Yes. Yeah. And so subscribe to Sherry, subscribe to my channel. If you're interested in getting a reading or seeing some of the classes that I offer, go to my website, which is marinacentertarot.com. So go over there, take a look.
Hoping to get mine up this summer.
If you need anything else, you know how to reach us. But thank you for being here. And Sherry, thank you for doing this with me tonight.
You're welcome. Thank you for sitting in for Cleo because, life happens. Sometimes. Just got to deal with it.
All righty. Take care, everyone. We'll see you later. Bye for now.